Good afternoon and welcome to 802 Scoop, live from the Inside Scoop studio at 185 North Main Street in Barrie. Changing things up a little bit today. Not the typical just Jeff and I shooting this shit about what's going on in Barrie, even though we know there's all kinds of things going on in Barrie right now. We brought in a special guest with us today because opening season for Thunder Road is right around the corner. So I asked if Stephen Donahue would come in here and join us, tell us a little bit what he's already done this season and what's ahead. So good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little while.
I know. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
Been
well,
busy.
a split second this last weekend when you were out back at the tavern, at Summer Street Tavern for the car show. Kind of crappy weather, but you guys all hung out and...
Yeah, it was a pretty good time. We stayed later and hung out and had some food and a couple drinks, and then Amber had to go to work, so we loaded up the car and we went home, and it's still sitting in the trailer, actually.
It is, the car is, but coming out soon, I'm assuming.
That car is going to be at the car show this weekend, but we don't have the motor for it yet, so that one won't get raced till Memorial Day, so I got to run my other car.
Mm-hmm. And the car show is this weekend at the track?
As far as I know, I think it's still at the track.
Yeah.
I don't think, they haven't mentioned anything about it being on Main Street again, so I'm assuming it's going to be at the track.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. Do they, Jeff?
No, and it's crazy. You know, I know merchants complained about it, and but it was a good place to have it. I mean, even if we had it up at the auditorium, it'd be great. You know.
Yeah, the auditorium would be a
You
great
can
place.
use the back or the front parking lots,
Yep.
plenty of space.
Yeah. Hillary Scott says yes at the track 9 to 2. So you'll be there. And speaking of Hillary, you are a part of Race to Read this year.
Yeah, we're back again this year doing that. Going to try and get up there a little more this year than we did last year. It's just tough we struggled quite a bit last year, so it's tough to get time to get away from the car without trying to figure out how to make the car better, but definitely going to try and get up there more.
Right, because you're racing and then something goes wrong and you got to hang back and get all that figured out. You can't be running up to the booth. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's more like 2023 this year instead of 2024.
We all are hoping that's the way it is. I mean, you always have those in-betweens, and you were running a different car and stuff last year, weren't you?
Yeah, we got my dad's car that he ran last year is one I'm going to race full-time this year there, and then I got Uncle Bill's car down at Claremont, and then we got our mutt that we got that's kind of going to go wherever we want to go play, or if Dad wants to get into it at some point this year. But
pretty much you're the only one. You're the only Donahue on the tracks this year?
Pretty much. My Uncle Gary's going to get in our Tiger car a couple times at least, and my dad might play with that, but right now it's just me, which is a bit of a change compared to the last couple of years.
Yes, it is. But hey, that just means you'll get all the attention, right? And hopefully all the help.
Yeah, it'll make it a lot easier for me, a lot less stress than trying to get my car done, then my dad's, and then my uncle's. It'll be pretty much just getting the two cars that I'm running at Claremont and Thunder Road, which makes it easy too, with Claremont only being 10 races. It gives us breaks in between, so it makes it a lot easier to keep that car going, but putting all our effort into the Thunder Road car, and so we can get back to where we were a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Now, is your Thunder Road car the one for one credit union?
Yep. Yeah, one credit union's on all three cars.
Nice.
And they're not on they're on the car I'll be racing this weekend, but it's not like the car that I'll run all year. It's got my dad's throwback scheme, and the only reason we're doing that is because we had an issue with getting our motor for the Thunder Road car, so we're gonna play with that car this weekend, and then by Memorial Day, once points start, I'll have the one credit union Chevy up there.
Well, and really the Memorial Day race is the bigger deal anyways.
Yeah.
That's the, like,
Yeah, this one's more just, it's an ACT race, so it's big, but it's kind of, the track's going to be very different because it hasn't seen cars. It's probably people have been practicing, but it hasn't seen a race yet this year, so track will be green and have to, track always races different this race, so hopefully by Memorial Day it'll be more into full swing. The track will have a lot more heat into it, and it'll be a lot closer, a lot warmer out, so it'll be closer to what we run all year.
and hopefully the rain holds off and you guys will have a great day and
Hopefully.
you'll actually get some racing in.
Yeah, if it
We never
rains,
know lately.
it'll be. I won't be super bummed because then I'll be able to get my actual Thunder Road car ready and maybe get that one to the first race is the goal if it rains. But
So are you maybe a little bit secretly hoping it rains, but not so secret if you say it out loud
yeah,
right
kind of.
now?
I mean, I don't hope it rains, but if it does, it's not gonna ruin my day because I'd like to have that car at least shake it down before Memorial Day without renting the track and missing work. So
Yep.
hopefully the race does happen this weekend because we're going camping either way. We always go and camp the big races, so whether it's raining or not, I'll be up there. Just it'll change kind of like how my mindset is with which car I have.
And speaking of work, you literally ran in here last minute. You're ducked out of work, and I think you may probably have to go back.
No, I don't have to go back today, but I'll be going to the shop and working on cars tonight to get ready for this weekend. So kind of like work, but it's a lot more fun in my garage.
Yeah. And what are you doing for work now?
Well, right now I'm working at Duxbury Autotech for Mark Landfear, just as a mechanic, doing brakes and shocks and struts and stuff like
Just
that.
as a
Yeah.
mechanic. Yeah, just
And,
as a mechanic. I don't know that I
I'm
would call
supposed
it
to
that.
start next week doing my truck for Kingsbury, so start trucking next week, which will be nice. Get back
Nice.
into that this summer.
That'll be good. And that's what you like to do.
Yeah, that's what I
is-
like to do, and it's more or less my main job. And then I plow during the winter a little bit, and then I work for Mark. Especially, it helps him out a lot too with tire season gets so crazy with spring and fall, and it makes it really hectic down there because everyone wants their tires done. So the extra help of me being there really relieves some of the pressure.
So, sponsors, who you got this year?
I got a lot.
Am I putting you on the spot?
No,
when
I
I'm
think I
asking
can
that?
remember pretty much all of them. They've changed a little bit, but we got one credit union, Lowry's Auto Sales, still got Bergamot and Moore. We got Ciotis Landscaping, Prime Salon and Day Spa, AB Excavation, Summer Street Tavern, 802 Scoop. We got C.R. Barnaby Trucking, Rutledge Construction, Stone Service Station, Lundgren Auto Group, which is on a Claremont car, and we got
The Den?
Man, we got the Den. We got Cliffhangers. We got a lot of them. A lot of ones that came on board this year. I got to get into the rhythm of doing them all at the same time. It's a little getting into that rhythm takes me a little bit.
Now, cliffhangers, there's a job for you. I'm surprised that you being as like kind of like a little bit of an adrenaline junkie or,
Yeah.
you know, that you wouldn't go for a job at cliffhangers.
Well, I used to work for Donahue Window Washing, which my cousin owns up in Charlotte, Vermont. And we used to, same thing, washing windows, and we'd hang off the side of the buildings on the little board with the bucket and wash windows. And once I got
Never.
out of school and I wanted to start trucking, I got done doing that and I went right into the trucking thing.
Well, I think as a parent, I think that I would choose trucking too. Just the thought of that is no.
As an
Too-
adult,
too scary.
I'd rather be sitting in a truck
Yeah.
than hanging off the side of a
hanging
building.
off the side of a building. No, thank you.
It was nice when the weather wasn't 90 degrees because you just bake in the sun, but
Oh, I'm sure.
it was as long as it wasn't too windy, it wasn't too bad up there. I didn't mind. I'm not too afraid of heights.
Right.
so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're a freaking adrenaline junkie. So, yeah. I need to find a window washer for the front of this studio because the windows are so disgusting that it looks like a vacant building, even though we're not. We're
Yeah.
in here, but they're horrible.
Yeah, they
I
get
gotta
all
find a
that
window
grime and
washer.
salt just covers the windows. It's terrible. Which most of the time, like I use just glass cleaner, and that's of course around my camper and stuff. But a lot of time people will use like a laundry detergent, and they have a mop, and that's usually the best stuff to use because it kind of seals it, and it doesn't allow the stuff to stick so much.
Yeah, I do know that last year when I had them done, I had a professional come and do them, and then I took Rain-X to them. I put Rain-X in a bug sprayer and sprayed the windows
Yeah.
because then it didn't.
Did it work?
When it rained? Oh yeah, then everything it just seemed to
Go right
I
off.
got to go a long time in between cleanings,
Yeah.
so that was helpful. But yeah, so Thunder Road the majority of the time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of new for you too, or in the last few years, because you haven't raced as much there the last few years, right? You kind of
No,
like
I've run most of Thunder Road, but usually this first weekend I haven't been doing.
You haven't,
We were
yeah.
going to do it last year, and we lost a drive shaft in practice, so we just kind of bagged the weekend because it tore the tin up and it broke shifter linkages and it bent pipes, so broke the transmission, broke the yoke on the drive shaft or the rear end, so it just didn't want to go back home. We could have, but not a points race and not having it 100% right, we just decided not to. And it'd been a couple years before that I hadn't been doing this race just because the ACT comes in and they bring all their guys, and there's a lot of guys there that don't really run good at Thunder Road, so they get a little rough from time to time. And it's just first weekend, a lot of people are rusty, and it's just easier to just go up and relax. And usually I'll help a friend like Jaden Perry or the Lansons. I'll usually spot for them for this race instead of driving it, which they like too.
now any kind of like special hopes for this season other than it being better than last season?
Yeah, really, I want to win the Labor Day race at Thunder Road because that's the one piece of granite up there that I'm not on, that other than the Ken Squire Cup, which that just started last year. And then really just want to go over to the 250 at White Mountain, have a good run there because I'm going to play there a couple times as long as Thunder Road's going well and Claremont's fine. And I want to get out in my mud truck a little bit more this year. It's been 4 or 5 years, 6 years since I've done that, and I want to go out and have a weekend where me and my dad and Rowdy and we can all just go out in the woods and relax like I used to do when I was a kid before racing took over.
I remember those days with all you boys out there raising hell, and
Yeah.
your parents' yard being literally packed full of mud trucks and
Oh, yeah.
everybody hanging out, and the good old days,
It was
right?
fun back then. Seemed like there was a lot more people around back then, but everyone gets busy. Life doesn't really stop for no one, and you got to keep moving.
But it's good to take a step back and say, I want to enjoy it a little more.
Yeah. It's just I love the racing. It just gets. And we had the year we did last year. Not a bad year. We still won races, but it's just for going from what we did in 2023 to 2024, and then we lost Norm this winter. I want to kind of have a little bit of fun outside of racing because racing does become a second job, but you just enjoy it a little bit more and you spend money instead of make it.
Yeah. And those losses teach you a lot of
Yeah.
things. I mean, same, when I lost my brother, you sit back and you think about, okay, what time am I let slipping by me?
Yeah.
And you want to take that back. Yeah. Now, do you let Amber in the mud truck? Can she drive?
I really'd rather have her not drive it. I like driving my rigs. She's got a truck I could turn into a mud truck. She just likes it being a pavement princess, so that one just stays on the pavement.
On the pavement?
Yeah.
But she can sit in the passenger seat, but that's it.
Yeah, she can
Yeah.
sit in the passenger seat. If I have to get a strap or something, get in the mud, then I'll let her hop in the seat, put it in four low, and it just crawls because the gears that are in it. So that
Right.
I'm okay with, but the steering's a little sloppy, and I got to do some work to it because it's been sitting for like 4 or 5 years. So I got to go through it and make sure if she does drive it, it doesn't wander all over the place.
Well, you want her to be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't mind it so much if I'm doing it because when I break it, it's me. But if it breaks on her, I'm going to blame her. It's gonna
Right,
be
and
her
then you're
fault.
going to be grumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that you get that way ever.
No, always in a great mood.
She's didn't even plead the fifth. She just straight up said
Yeah, I
that's a
know.
lie. She didn't even try to, save you there
Yeah.
for that one.
I know I got the Donahue temper, so it's not really a shock.
No,
No.
no, it's not. So what else? You teamed up with Race to Read. You have a lot going on, really, as far as, like you said, just getting the two cars, the two separate tracks, but it will be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Now, can you literally leave one car like at a different shop, or are you doing them all?
No, they're
Here.
all right in my garage. Well, my shop. It's big enough to be like mechanic shop. It's 50 by 60, but it's all full of race cars. Other than Gary's got his 32 Ford up on our 4-post lift, storing it for him. So maybe he'll drive that this summer. But it's those 3 cars. The Tiger car's in there now, and we got friends that bring their cars up to get worked on. Jaden Perry's is up there now. Lamson's car's up there.
It's
People-
quite the garage. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in there a couple of times, and I was like, "Holy shit! This isn't
Yeah.
this isn't just a garage."
No,
really.
when I did it, it's big enough so I can put my dump truck in it and work on that, so I'm not doing it in the mud and stuff. So it was built to do that plus the race cars, which right now is pretty much just race cars at the moment. But it was I wanted to do it big enough once instead of building just a smaller garage and then needing more room.
Right.
So I did it one shot.
Smart move. I think that Gary's listening, and he probably heard that you're going to be mudding trucks, and so you're not going to have to worry about his truck being in there up on any post much
No, I
longer.
think
He's
he'll
probably going to get it the hell out of there now.
Yeah, he'll probably want to bring it back down to his shop because it'll get pretty dirty in our place. But we do put a car cover on it. I'd get in and drive it, but I can't. I don't know how to drive it. I've never been taught a 32 Ford, so
Is it 3 on the tree?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You could do it. I mean, I think you could
Well,
drive
it's a model.
anything.
It's a Model A, so it's the clutch is the brake, or I don't know how the hell. It's got 3 pedals, but it's not a clutch. So I've never really looked into it. I could probably figure it out, but usually the
Interesting.
battery's dead.
That's not going to help you much. So, no Donahue's racing other than you this year
Yeah, full
so
time.
far.
Yeah.
But you think maybe your dad will get out there?
He might get the itch to go out and drive once, but he seems to be having more fun now going and helping me and being around the guys. And then he does the racing, and last year he lost his temper a couple times, so I think he wanted to take a break, and he's buying his own dump truck, so
Are
he's
you
starting
saying
a
that
new
your dad's
business.
getting old?
No, he already
Nicely?
is old, so I don't have to say he's getting old.
He knows he is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
think that a lot of it was with changing jobs. That's going to be the biggest change for him. He wants to make sure that goes off and goes well to start with, and having to race and do that. Because once you get sponsors and you say you're going to do something, you got to do it.
Right, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what it takes, stay up all night to rebuild a car, but that's what you committed to. So you got to commit to it.
And it's a lot. I mean, to
Yeah.
do both, to like you say, to work and to do that, it's a lot.
There's a lot of nights I don't want to go out to the shop after work, but got to, even if it's just doing wheel bearings, just got to get something done every night.
2 full-time jobs for
Pretty
sure.
much.
With and then a little fun in between.
Yeah.
But when we say that, and I mean, a lot of people think, oh, it's no big deal. You get out there on the track, you race, it's a ton of fun. But that's tiring too. I
Yeah.
mean, you get tired. It's actual workout to
Oh, yeah,
be out there.
It's not as easy as everyone thinks, that's for sure.
And especially here, I hear.
Yeah, Thunder
on
Road.
Thunder Road,
yeah.
that track is...
With the
it's-
banking and everything, it puts a lot of G-forces on your body, and it gets hot inside them cars, especially when they're black cars, because they just attract all the heat. And like there'll be days during the summer, the last few years, where you'd put your arm on my car and it'd literally burn your arm just from sitting in the sun. So it gets hot for sure. So I'm glad it's mostly 50 lappers during the summer.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. Any new equipment this year?
Not really. We got 2 new motors. One of them still isn't here. I got a new suit, which we should have before this week, and hopefully if it comes in. Other than that, not really any new equipment other than the 2 motors and my race suit.
And they haven't come out with anything new, like for safety or anything?
No, the last one safety-wise, they did the check valve and the fuel line, the vent tube that they did after my wreck, and then gloves are mandatory after my wreck. Those are still mandatory, but I didn't see anything really new safety-wise as far as what people have to use, which obviously pretty much everyone's got gloves, shoes, the full suit. Like a lot of people have a neck sock and they put over their head, or they buttons to the bottom of their helmet. But I don't use that because most of the time I don't have a blower fan in my car, so I gotta hold my hand out the window under yellow, and that's the only way I can get air to my body.
Well, maybe you better get one of those.
I'm just too cheap.
Are they super expensive?
They're not really expensive, but they draw a lot of juice from the battery, and
Oh, yep.
batteries usually end up dead, so I just don't want to put them in.
And I mean, let's face it, in a way, you're a farm boy anyways.
Yeah, I'm used to the heat.
You're used to the heat. You're used to dealing with it.
Yeah, my dump truck usually doesn't have AC in the summer, so the only wind I get is with the window down. So when you're sitting there in the sun, it gets pretty warm. So I'm kind of training all week for it before I go to the track anyway.
You're training for retirement in a really nice tropical area in the world, and you're gonna serve Amber drinks and.
She doesn't like the drinks I make. They're usually a little too strong, she says, so she just makes her own now.
So you're camping at the road this weekend,
Yep.
and that's always quite
Always
the
fun.
event with the Donahue crew.
Yeah, usually there's a pretty good party up there, at least one of the 3 nights that we're there.
Everybody gonna be around? Like,
I
is
don't
Bill
know.
coming up and your dad? Like, everybody
I'm
will
not
be
really
there?
sure, actually. I mean, my parents might bring their camper because they haven't brought it to White Mountain yet, but I'm not sure. But as far as I know, I am. Lamson's mentioned they might. Jason Pelkey brings his up there, and my Uncle Gary, usually he brings his up, but I don't know if he's going to do this weekend. This one's kind of a hard one because everyone's still kind of cleaning it up from the winter
Yep.
in the spring, so
Well, and
Memorial
it's
Day
still
is
a little
usually
bit
when they
cold
do it.
at night. To
Yeah.
be sitting out around a fire raising hell.
Yeah, depends on how much liquid courage you have in you, I guess. How warm you stay.
Will Rowdy come down, or was he keep his right up at White Mountain?
I don't know. He's got 2 now. He might come
He's
down.
got 2.
Yeah, he bought another one. He'll probably come down, but he usually camps down bottom with Trot and Sherry. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
They stay down there. And they come up and visit a little bit, but they always usually camp down bottom.
They're
in
a little more
corner.
mild.
Yeah. Yeah, they had their fun with Jelloville and stuff they used to do back when I was a kid, and it's a lot more quiet down there now than when I used to go as a kid.
I don't know who watches who. Trot watches Rowdy, or Rowdy watches Trot.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one to
That's a
guess.
toss-up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nana and Papa home?
Yeah, what's today, Tuesday? They just got home last night, actually.
Wow.
Or
Yep.
yesterday afternoon. Dad flew down to drive them home, and they're home, and Papa is not liking the cold weather. But he's been pretty lucky. The last 2 days have been pretty nice.
Yep.
But this weekend might be a little bit rough for him.
Right. Well, and thankfully he wasn't here Sunday when it snowed and
Yeah,
was
they were-
really shitty.
Yeah, they were on their way back, and Dad was like, "Oh, how's the weather?" I was like, "Yeah, it's snowing and it's sticking up here on the hill." And Papa did not like the sound of that. I think he wanted to turn around and go back to
Go
Florida.
back to Florida. Yeah.
Wait another week or 2. But usually he won't miss the first race at Thunder Road, so I think he was planning on coming back either way.
They all head back.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much for coming in and taking time out of your day to
Yeah, thanks
join
for
us
having
and
me.
give us a scoop of what's going on with Stephen Donahue and the Donahue camp.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be. We might have a couple more announcements. I bought a Pro Stock. Maybe we'll get that put together at some point this summer.
No,
So.
wait a minute. You were just telling me you were going to take time to go mudding, and now you're telling me you're going to throw a third car into the mix?
Well, it's not really planning on racing it this year, but start putting it together slowly, and hopefully by the end of the year it'll be a complete car. Hopefully, we'll see. It depends on how the summer goes with work.
I can just see it now. It will start out like that,
Yeah.
and then, you know.
Everything Dad'll want to get it done.
I'm going to have to keep calling you and reminding you, mud truck, mud truck,
I
mud
know.
truck.
I bought another mud truck to go to my buddy Matt's, and Rowdy saw it, and Rowdy went and bought tires for it, and he bought a body lift
course
for
he
it.
did.
So now I gotta put a fender on it, fix some rust, put an A-frame on it, go through it so it's good for him, and he's gonna go out with us with that when he has time.
When he has time, because he works a lot too.
Yeah, he works over at White Mountain during the summer, takes care of everything for them over there, and he does a lot, but Rowdy's usually can stay pretty relaxed.
Right.
He
Oh,
usually
yeah.
don't get too wound up.
He does a lot in his retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't just sit around and do nothing. He's always got to be doing something. He can't just sit there. He gets
He works
anxious.
harder now than he did when he was working.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, literally.
That's crazy. He is probably one of the most mellow people I've ever
Oh, yeah.
met in my entire life, though.
Yeah. Always monotone. Even
Yeah.
all the old ledge videos that he used to take when my parents and all them went up through the ledge, he was always mellow. Even when his truck broke, always mellow. Other than when the beaver tried attacking him when he got his Land Cruiser stuck.
What?
Other than that, yeah, they went.
You have to tell us this story, Stephen.
Well, I wasn't there, but I've seen the video. He went out, and he used to go up there by himself for like weeks at a time. He had a winch, and he had a little donkey that my dad helped him build, which was a Toyota truck bed with the frame, put tires on it, and pied the front of the frame together and welded a hitch on so he could go out, have everything in it. Well, he'd leave it at camp, and then he'd go out doing wheeling. Oh, he got it stuck in the water one day. And I'm pretty sure Rowdy went back out to get in it, and there was a beaver in his Land Cruiser when he got out there, and it attacked him. He didn't like that quite so much.
I wouldn't like that quite so much either. That could actually be a little bit dangerous. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think they're mean.
Yeah, they're not very nice, but if he would have had his pistol on him, it probably would have ended a lot faster
It would,
too.
right, it would have worked a lot.
Yeah, they don't like us up there anyway because we always break down their dams because they build the ponds up. So we always have to break down their dams so they'll drain out. So
Now,
they
do
don't
you all
like the
still
mud
go
trucks.
up there? Do people go up there anymore?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that go up. They usually go up Woodbury Mountain Road and out that way. And we usually go through Worcester is the way we try to go. And my mom's uncle has a camp, right? One of the last camps on the road before you head out into like the campsite that
Yeah.
we stay in the middle. And usually everyone goes around the other way because it's a lot easier. You can have a lot smaller of a vehicle and go that way than trying to go through the normal way, because the normal way, as I call it, has a lot of water. So you got to have pretty good amount of lift so you don't waterlog the truck.
Now, isn't there like a somewhere up near, I don't even know, where the mud bogs that you all used to go to? Do they still do that too?
The one I went to was at Aaron Orr's, and I don't think he hasn't done them in a while. Eddie Clark, he used to have some, but I haven't heard of him having any. And then I think the one you might be thinking of is Goss.
Yeah, the Goss
Goss
bogs.
one. I've
Yeah.
never been to that one, but I think that one's up in, like off exit 2, Sharon Way, and up heading towards Stepford, somewhere up in there. I've never been there, but I think that's the one that pretty much everyone always goes to.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen the majority of the videos from, I think, and
Yeah.
the majority of the videos have been from Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley Brown.
Yeah, I think that would be
Like
Goss.
they would send the videos or post them, and that's scary. That can be really scary sometimes.
Yeah, you got
some
to
of the
definitely pay
stuff they
attention
do.
when you're up there.
Well, and we know that. I mean, and people have gotten hurt doing that stuff.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. You can't be being dumb when you got that many trucks and everyone's kind of going all over the place. You gotta pay attention a lot. It's definitely not a place where you bring a lot of kids and let them run around or anything like that. You got to really be smart. And that's just from the videos I've seen. I've never been up there, but
Yeah.
most of the time everyone's like, yeah, that truck smashed into this truck and the axle came out of this one, the tire rolled down the hill. It's crazy up there.
I
And most
guess
time
so.
I'm always racing when they're doing it, so I never go.
Right. Well, and maybe your racing could give you some expertise up there, but it just sounds like a whole lot of craziness. So what you all do is
Just-
up at the ledge is
Yeah,
just
crawling.
yeah.
Yeah,
way-
that's not a lot of speed. Once you get there, it's about I think it's an 8 mile long trail, and 8 mile. 4 miles in, you're at camp. It takes us an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how much we stop if we want to play in the mud to get to the campsite. And we just literally crawling all the time. And I have a good time doing it because you can just relax, and the truck pretty much will drive itself. And you got big enough tires that you don't get water inside the cab because it's all sealed nice. And it's like going wheeling, but you don't have to get muddy, which is nice. For me, it's nice.
Right, because you get dirty all week.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to get dirty.
No, not when I'm out there, because usually when you get into the mud, it's been sitting for a while and it smells nasty once you turn it all up.
I was actually going to ask that because I've heard that that it's actually kind of gross.
Oh yeah, it can be. It's not so bad once you get a couple trucks through and churn it all up, but you get that first truck through, it almost smells like sewage sometimes because it's just all the settlements at the bottom, and then you're digging it all up. It's nasty.
And another reason he's going to hope for rain, but
Yeah.
let's say mild rain because we don't need any of
Yeah,
the
we don't need any
episodes
more
we've
floods
had the
or
last
nothing,
23,
no.
24. Yeah, we don't need any more of that
No.
stuff. Yeah. So, what else you got going in on anything?
I gotta build Amber's enduro car so she can go hopefully more than 8 laps this year. That'd be nice. 18 laps, more than 18
18
laps.
laps.
Yeah, I gotta build her a bigger car. Is what I gotta do because she likes to go full throttle and hit things. Well, when she has a little car, that little car doesn't
falls
take
apart
hitting things.
quickly.
Yeah.
Right. So if you beef it up a little bit, do you have a car in mind?
Well, she's got a Camry that she bought, but I want to get it like a 1987 Monte Carlo, and full framed, and that I can just hook a winch to and bend the clip back and straighten out. That I can fix. Most of the time when you're done with a small car, subframe's broke, and it's just more work to fix it than get a new one. So I'd rather have something strong to where if she hits another car, it's not gonna knock the radiator, and it might bend the tie rod, but probably burn some heat and close enough.
Stay away from other cars this time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, are you going to cheer her on at least and help her out?
I'll help her build it. I'll be there, but I'm not gonna probably watch a whole lot because every time I go up there to watch, she's driving in. So I'll just stay at the trailer and help all our buddies when they come in.
Are you
Actually,
saying
I
that
might
you're bad luck?
usually when I watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might actually run it myself this year. I got a Lexus. I might build too. That's a bigger car.
No,
'Cause-
you're going to go out there and race against her.
yeah, I might hit her just for the fun of it, like get behind her and bump draft.
So I bet you, I have a feeling that if you were out there on the track too, she'd kick your ass.
She
I
did
think
last time
that
we
would,
ran.
The adrenaline of winning again, like beating your ass,
Yeah,
would be.
She did longer than I did the last time we ran the enduro together. I hit the wall and my car decided to shut off, and she had a broken spindle, so the tire would do whatever it wanted, and bent the tie rods in the front, so it was pushing like a dumb truck, and drove them both on the well, mine didn't drive on the trailer, but I drove hers up on the trailer, so I guess hers was better than mine. But after that tire, she'd go into that corner, and that right rear tire would lay right over like this and spin herself out, and it was pretty comical to watch her in-car camera on YouTube. That's pretty funny to watch. We watched
Did she
that
cuss
once in
a little?
while. Yeah, a little bit, but it's more just her reactions, and you heard her laughing a lot. She screamed a lot, but she definitely had a lot of fun, which that's the
Well,
point of
that's
the
the
enduro.
point of it,
The enduros
right?
are fun. As long as you got a safe cage in it, so you're not gonna get hurt. They're just a ton of fun.
Right, that's what they are. Have you ever wanted to do that, Jeff?
Yeah, I would.
You would want to?
Oh yeah.
Why not? I do it pretty much every day when I get on
Well,
the road. But so
I like going fast.
yeah,
That's,
me too. That's the problem.
I get in these spurts. Like today, I drove out to my camp out in
Yeah.
West Danville to do some work, and right now they're milling and getting ready to pave again.
Yeah.
But they paved it last summer, and when you go from come out of Marshfield and you come
That's
up the
that
hill by the
smooth-
dam,
Yeah, it's nice right there.
Next thing you know, you look down, you're doing like 80, 85
Yeah.
going through there.
Yeah.
Once you climb that other hill going by that barn, though, it's really
Yeah.
rough on
Yeah,
that side.
yeah,
there
that
towards
sucks.
the pond.
Yeah.
But it is. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I've always thought that I would think it was really cool to run the enduro too. But I've also heard that it's the same thing. It's Thunder Road. It's a tough track,
It
and
is,
it's
yeah.
super hard to do. It's not for the faint of heart at all.
No, it's either you really love it once you get into it, or you are definitely terrified when you do it. So I think you'd like it though. All my buddies have really liked it, other than I think Jane Perry didn't really care for it a whole lot.
Now, have any of the Donahues ever won an enduro?
No, Dad just did his first one 3 years ago. Did the winter enduro, and he loved that. He's never done the Thunder Road one. Mom's done it a couple times, and I've done the Thunder Road enduro once. And that was just because finally I was like, I want to do it.
Yeah.
It's always looked like so much fun, and most of my crew's always done it, so I've gone and helped them. But
And
it's-
Bill, Papa, nobody,
No,
none of them.
done
Has
it.
Rowdy ever done it?
no, not that I know of.
Wow.
I don't think Rowdy would like it very much.
Right,
Rowdy's
'cause
a pretty
he's the
cautious
slow
driver.
and
Yeah.
go.
He'd do it if he could drive the Zamboni.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Slow and go.
Yeah.
He'll do the cleanup.
Yeah.
Come through with the wrecker after.
Yeah, he
and
would
the-
do that. I think. I
Yeah,
think he'd
the
like
cleanup
that.
of it only. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be a little bit scary. I don't know. Or a lot of bit scary and but super cool. And
Yeah.
I've always said I was going to try it someday. But isn't there? Now that is not the same. The enduro, is that the same as Run What You Brung?
No, so Run What You Brung is where you like bring your own personal car, and you have to have proof of insurance, registration, like it's inspection. So it's got to be a legal car. You can't just bring something in. And you just go drag race style, one lap against.
And some people
Other
are
people.
batshit crazy and bring like their brand new cars. I've
Oh, yeah.
seen Corvettes. I've seen
Yep.
like other cars. There's cars. People are just nuts. They go
Oh,
up
yeah,
there.
I've seen them wreck.
Yeah.
I've seen them wreck a few times in the.
They
Run
do
What You
wreck
Brung.
them?
Yeah. There was a guy from Northfield brought his 400 up. The older style 400 had a V8 in it, and he came out of the corner and he went it off turn 2 before the wall, flipped it, landed on its side, spun around on the asphalt, and then landed back on his wheels, fired it up, and drove around. Still won the race.
What the
It was
hell?
it was wicked cool. There's a guy with a Camaro, I think not last year, but 2 years ago, that came out of turn 4 and was drifting and overcorrected, I think, and smacked the wall with his Camaro. It was an 80s Camaro, but still, it looked really nice.
But still, it was a Camaro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's my. If I could ever have a car, that's what I want. Well, I want a '69 Camaro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
it
first.
has to be that.
The first style.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are nice.
Yeah.
Hard to find
That's
those
my
nowadays.
favorite.
Had to find those. Had to find the early Challengers, those Chargers.
And you just have,
Even the Mustangs,
go
they-
out and go to the Barrett Jackson
Yeah.
auction in Scottsdale, Arizona.
You're gonna spend a lot
I
of money for
always
those
sit
ones.
and watch that for 3 days on TV. I actually watch that whole thing and I record so I don't miss it. Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? And I really, really want to go there someday.
I think it'd be fun. I used to watch it all the time as a kid, and I used to love all the cars.
Yeah,
that would
I
come
mean, I
out.
know even if I couldn't buy anything, just being there and the whole thing and being able
Yeah.
to see them all and all the
And
people
how
and
they're
the
just
process.
immaculate. Like every little detail on them is like it's like a brand new car.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I,
but-
I think it'd be super cool. I mean, that it's on my it literally is on my bucket list
Hmm.
to be able to go out there and spend the 3 days.
And just watch see all the cars.
Uh-huh.
And they got everything down there too.
Yeah,
It's not just like cars. They got trucks. They got little weird, like one-offs. Like you got I can't think of them. Evil Knievel had one. It was a little 3-wheeled, like motorcycle type looking thing. It's a weird little thing.
So Justin Johnson says also been some domination by race car drivers, Damn, Steven, and Brandon.
Named it the Run What You Brung.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Run What You Brung last year, they didn't have a whole lot of cars. So, Chris Michaud went up to me. He's like, "You got a car?" He's like, "The only thing I got here is my truck. I'm not gonna unhook my truck to go out." My grandfather, Papa, was there, and he had his V6 Charger. He's like, "Huh? Well, go take my car." I was like,
No.
well, I don't think he was serious, but see if he was serious, and he was. So Papa had me go get his Charger, and then Brandon Gray hopped in the passenger seat, and we did the Run What You Brung, and we actually ended up winning it.
That's kind of his pride and joy, isn't it?
He likes that car a lot, but it's the Challenger that he has that is his problem. That's a V8. Now it's an automatic in '09, I think it is. '09 or '10.
And that's the car that will someday be yours or is already yours technically.
No,
or
I think that
kind
one's
of, sort of.
that one's gonna go to Little Paul.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one's Little Paul's car, which
Yeah.
is fine by me as long as someone gets it that's gonna take care of it. And Little Paul's liked that car since they got it. Of course, we were a lot younger when they first bought it. So
Right.
They've had it a long time.
Right,
Haven't
and Little
driven it a
Paul's
whole
not
lot.
so little. Let's
Yeah,
just
he's
say
not so
that-
little anymore.
Yeah, far from it. Yeah, times have changed for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you good luck, of course, and we hope you have an incredible year.
Thank you.
Even if it's not perfect, if it's better than last year,
Yeah, I'll be happy.
and it would be pretty awesome if it was as good or even better
Yeah.
as 23. I mean, you were on fire.
Yeah, 23 was a
Face it.
perfect season.
Yeah.
Everything went right. Didn't have any issues. And then last year, we didn't really have a lot of issues with stuff. We just couldn't get the car to handle like we did before. So made some changes this winter. Hopefully it helps. And tracks changed too with another year of frost and everything on the track. So maybe the track's changed and gone back towards what we like to run.
So
Just have to
that
see.
does affect it.
Yeah. As the winters go on and you get more frost beat into the track and it grays, it takes grip out of the track and it'll change more through the season. But they put goop on the track too, so that changes the track a lot. So we'll have to see what they do with that.
Interesting.
Definitely not the same from week to week, but that's all part of racing.
Well, you never know. You may see Jeff up there racing, one of those Run What You Brungs, or you put your car out there.
Enduro.
Right,
Yeah.
the
Put me in-
Enduro.
Put me in the Enduro.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe you may end up with a little 802 Scoop car out there racing next to you.
That would be cool.
Yeah, you never
I
know.
wish I still had, when I got out of high school, the car I had a 72 Pontiac Le Mans, with a
Yep.
354 barrel.
Yep.
I loved that car.
Those guys are good. Those guys look good when they're all, half the time now when I see them, they're all partsing them out or
Yep.
they clone them as into a GTO.
Yep.
But those guys on their own look sharp.
Yeah, Rick Denty down here at Denty's Market has a
Yep.
71. His is a sport, Le Mans Sport. It's green. I think it's green, dark green with a black roof or
Does
something.
he still have it?
He still has his.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
That is sweet. And he probably takes
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
such good care.
That-
I'm sure
yeah,
it's
that's a
looks
summer
brand new.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it looks just about brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome to see. Okay, guys, so we are going to duck out for now. Michael and I will be back at 7 o'clock for a special edition of Barry Beat tonight. Carol Dawes is going to come in and join us. We're going to talk a little bit about, or a lot of it, I guess, about the charter changes, and most important one being that of whether the clerk position should be appointed or voted by all of you. And Carol has some pretty passionate thoughts about that. And
She
has
sure
shared
does.
them a few times, and she's going to share them again tonight ahead of voting, of course, which is May 13th from 7 to 7 right here at the Barry Auditorium. So join Michael and I tonight at 7 for that special episode of Barry Beat. And speaking of elections, I just want to say that if you really are so petty and that big of an asshole that you have to pull people's signs up and destroy them because you don't like those candidates. I mean, that's just pathetic. It is pathetic. Not only is it pathetic, but it's a crime. And the homes that these signs are at, everyone that is running for a seat has to ask, can I put my sign and you're at your property? Just remember that 90% or more, at least 90% of people have cameras these days, you asshats, and we know who you are. And it's a criminal offense to steal, damage, whatever, these signs. So leave them alone. Don't be petty. Vote the way you want to vote and get over yourself. Right?
That's it.
That's it.
I agree.
I don't know. So have a good rest of your day, everyone. And we'll see you at 7.